which is how to learn anything. So sorry about little bit mistakes which I do in between, but let's learn how to learn anything. So I have created one mind map, friends. So this is in front of you, and I have created earlier. So let's talk it one by one. 7 things you never knew about learning. So this is the central of the topic, and the topic is I have made it on mindmeester.com. It is a online app. In this, we can make mind maps. So the centralized point should be always in the center. So I'm just learning this also, and teaching it to you, and doing something. So let's see what we can do. So 7 things you never knew about learning. So the thing is, we never know how to learn. No one taught us how to learn. So what I got to have some 7 tips which I can say. The first thing is, how to learn is also a skill to learn. It means whenever you are like thinking of learning, that how to learn is also a skill. You know, if you don't know how to learn, you can like learn it, but knowingly or unknowingly, or delay in learning. So this can happen. So whatever you're learning, there should be a sequence to learning. So that sequence I'm telling you about. The first thing is, learn, do, and teach is the best way of learning anything. So it means whenever you're learning something, do something about it. Otherwise, uh, it will not be learned. Teach something about it. Okay, let me create it this way. Actually, I think that this is not the proper way. Once again, give me a moment. Let me check how can I delete it. Okay, no problem. Let me create the mind map once again, just in front of you, and let me create it like this. Okay, so the topic title I have kept is 7 things you never knew about learning. Okay, so 7 things. What are the 7 things which you never knew about learning? So the first one I can say is, learning is never solo. It is a co-creation. So the learning is never solo. It means you cannot never learn alone. If you are learning together, just like in school, when we are learning together, most of the time, I gather my past, whenever we were doing accountancy or learning something, typical points like maths. So learning together was easier than learning alone. So that is why I'm just uh, emphasizing this phrase that learning solo is also a part, but learning together is the best. So co-creation is the best. Co-creation, I will talk about it later, but learning is not solo. It is among uh, among people. Okay. So the second thing which I would like to talk about is, make learning a ritual. Okay, so whenever you're learning anything, just say anything, be it learning about one new language, be it learning about how to ride a bicycle, learning about how to cook something, learning about how to do work in your job. So anything which you are learning, if you're learning something which is new to you, then you have to make a ritual, because you can there are some things which you can learn in 1 hour or 2 hours, but there are a lot of things which is long term. So whenever you are learning something, if you are not creating a ritual around you, you will never be able to learn it. Okay, the third thing which I would like to say is teaching what you learned. So, teaching what you learned, it means I what I have just learned, I am just teaching it to you. I'm just teaching it for the sake of learning again. So, the same way, you know why our teachers are so brilliant? Because they teach the same thing again and again. So, same like that, whatever we are learning, when we are teaching something, then it's like we are learning it once again, one more time. So just do it n number of times, and you will learn it at the core. You will learn it like never before. So that's why teaching what you learned is awesome. Okay, so what else we can say is, yeah, so I was talking about co-creation. Co-creation is a wonderful way of learning. Okay, so co-creation, what is co-creation, guys? Friends, co-creation means whenever you're creating something, you create it with a group. Like like if you're teaching to some people, and learn from the people also, like you're co-creating, just like 2 or 3 people are learning together. So if you are creating some new things, then also it is a co-creation. So I'm a little bit puzzled about my own words, but I think you got my point. Co-creation, it is similar to the learning together. So co-creation means you are creating it together, right? And the next point what I could say is, so be like a thermostat. So what do I mean when I say be like a thermostat? Not a thermometer. So be like a thermostat instead of thermometer. Sorry about my spelling. It is thermostat. Okay. Yes. So be like a thermostat, not a thermometer. So what do the thermometer do? The thermometer only check what is outside and it just reflect it. But when you are learning, be like a thermostat. You just have to create it in a new way. Whatever you are, you should not ignore it. It should be like what thermostat do. Let me tell you what thermostat do. Thermostat, in its surrounding, it uh, regulate the temperature. When you set the temperature to like let's say 40 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius, so it will be creating the temperature around it. So same way, when you are learning, you have to create an atmosphere around you of learning. If everyone around you is making so much of noises and so much of like they are watching television, they are doing something on their mobile, or there are so many kids roaming around. So it's never going to be a best way of learning. So be like a thermostat. You have to change your environment. Either you change your environment or just change your place. So that is the best way of learning. And how many ways we have just learned? Let me check. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so two more ways I would like to tell you. So the sixth way I can see, entangle, entangle your learnings. So what do I mean entangle your learnings? Just like whatever you're learning, make it entangled to something else. Just giving you an example, whenever you are just you want to remember something, that is why you are learning, right? So if you want to remember something, then you just remember it by entangling it to something else. You can say, I am learning a person's name. The person name is you can say Sohan Lal. Okay, so how to remember the Sohan Lal? So we just entangle it. Sohan, it is like a Sohan halwa, and Lal is it's like a red. So we can say a halwa which is colored in red. So just like that, we can just imagine. I'm just giving you an example. Don't do this, but just imagine there is a red color of Sohan halwa. That is why it is called Sohan Lal. So just like that, you just entangle your learning with something funny, something strange, which you can always remember. So if you're doing this, then definitely you're going to learn it long time. I hope it clarifies. So the last one I can say in learning, try to learn at a specific place and time. So what do I say at a specific place and time? Our mind always find out the excuses of not to do something which is hard. Like our mind is not habitual to do hard things, it is habitual to do easy things. Like whenever I'm trying to sit for learning, there is a television going on, my favorite serial is going on, so my mind says, let me do it, let me watch the TV first and then I'll try to learn. So the thing is, what is easier? Easier is just watch the TV and just spoil your time. So the same way, why I'm saying specific place and time, you should select it at that time, at that place. You always try to learn. If you are not learning anything, if you're not making that space a very like learning space, then you are maybe at that same space you are sleeping, and that same space you are watching TV, at that same space you are learning. So I believe that space will not, your mind will be puzzled whether I should be in this mode or this mode or that mode. But whenever you're selecting a space and selecting a time, okay, then your mind will say, okay, this is the time of learning, this is the time, this is the place of learning, and I have to give my 100% of concentration. So that is why I say try to learn at the specific place and time. So this is what I am creating this 7 ways. Sorry about that. So 7 ways of 7 things you never knew about learning. So first one is learning is never solo, it is among people. Second one is, I believe it is visual to you. Let me make it a little larger. Make learning a ritual. The third one is teaching what you learned is awesome. The fourth one is creating a wonderful way of learning. Sorry, co-creation is a wonderful way of learning. Co-creation means creating it together. The fifth one is be like a thermostat, not a thermometer, because thermostat change the environment, thermometer just reflect the environment. The sixth one is entangle your learnings. Whatever you're learning, make it entangled to something else so that you can learn it twice. And try to learn at a specific place and time. It means your mind will be habitual to that place and time. It will be only started learning. So this was it. This was my short trial. Actually, this is my first video, so forget about all the mistakes I'd done. So that's it. Take care. Wait for my next video also. Bye bye.